only a dog or a child is loved unconditionally. A man is loved on the basis of what he provides.
Right.
Everything we're saying here is not 100% true. Even though we're saying it, even this one we're talking about, for a man to be a correct man, he needs a father figure. There's still some women that will train a man and you think that he had a father figure.
Absolutely.
So, but what we're doing is we're generalizing, basically.
Ideal.
Yes, in an ideal case, that's how it should be. A man is loved based on what he. That's why you see men seek power, success. Well, that's what the society defines as you being a man. You understand? But there are still exceptional cases. There are still some people who will just love you for no reason. You understand? But for you as a man, you are loved for that. And that's one of the mistakes men carry into raising a family. Once they are able to have that success, once they're able to bring something on the table, most times financial ability, and maybe even able to satisfy their woman in the bedroom, they assume their job is done. You understand? They think that's what makes them a man. And when they start raising children, they forget that they owe their male children to teach them what it means to be a man.
Because they don't even know it, some of them.
You understand? So that's why we have weak men.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to a brand new episode in this brand new season of Talk Through Podcast, where we get to bring you conversations under the spotlight of the truth. I'm excited because of this episode. I'm always excited, but this one is, really about a very wonderful gender. But before I introduce the topic, I'd like to introduce these men, them that are in the building. Thank you, James Oge, Zeno J, for coming through again. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Your
sir.
Excellency.
Thank you, yes.
Always a pleasure to have you in the building, repping the kingdom as always.
Thank you.
Cool, calm, and collected. Well, fire's about to fall now. Oh, yes.
So,
My co-host and regular, welcome to the show. Yes. This topic is about the man. Manhood, what it takes to be a man, and why the strength of the man is suddenly becoming, weak. You get what I mean? We're talking about man. Why men are becoming weak all of a sudden. I know it may not be all of a sudden. It's been a build-up of things that have been happening in the past, but that's the conversation today. And I'm told that one of the signs of a weak man is that he kneels down to propose to the lady he wants to get married to. I don't agree though, because I knelt down. But let's start on that note. Is every man that kneels down to propose to his wife to be a weak man? Is that a sign of weakness? Oh yes.
yeah,
It's your shot.
It's a sign of something. Maybe no, maybe no weakness in the sense of this entire topic.
Right.
But it's a sign of man succumbing to the societal norm that somebody set. That it may not even be the man's culture, may not be the man's, upbringing.
I feel you.
But because the man saw people doing it, and he assumes that is a standard. A man should be a man's man. A man should be a man of himself. If you want to kneel down because you are kneeling down for yourself.
Not because
there's a societal trend that says if you want to propose. For me, it's the beginning of something I call...
Is that not a white man's way of proposing to?
No,
I was going to finish the sentence.
Yeah, right.
It's the beginning of what I call mumulity, especially in marriage.
Right.
No,
but it doesn't mean that if you kneel down to propose to your wife, you're married, you'll be kneeling down.
To propose is to give someone an offer. In which other context do people make an offer kneeling down? In any other context in life, the one that proposes is the one with the power. Is the one with the offer. The one that makes the offer.
No, not always.
I would like to know if there's any other context
the kneeling
where
down part, I'm with you, but not always. I can come with a proposal for you to invest.
Yeah,
that means I'm offering value.
Yeah, I'm offering value.
Exactly. So in which other context do people offer value and they are begging? Kneeling is a sign of applying for something, and I think in the context of marriage, the man that should be the head should be standing
Only
when
that
he
one.
makes an
Only
offer.
that one time when you need that now, he has become a weak man.
That's the beginning. That's why I said the beginning. The beginning of mumulity. It's not the entire mumulity
only once
that we're going to look at today, but it's
People
the
when they
beginning.
join court, don't be only
Your
ones.
Excellency, sir.
People when they join court, now once they give their blood now.
Why
It's
do
every day.
African men kneel down to?
I don't know why African men are not supposed to kneel down. So like we just said, actually, I don't think a man should succumb to any pressure that is not normal. Let me put it that way. So culturally, we are Africans. Culturally, we are supposed to live as Africans. We're supposed to do what Africans do. There's no need for us to allow pressure to force on us what is not our culture, what does not agree with our culture. If we do that, that's sign of weakness. It's just like the same way the white man came to Africa and overran Africa. You understand? It was because we showed weakness. If we didn't show weakness, they will not be able to colonize us. So kneeling down to propose is a sign of weakness. It means that we are still allowing that colonial mentality. That's the white man, Europeans coming to Africa and forcing themselves on us. You understand? We still agree and accept that. So that's kneeling down. It's not only kneeling down to propose. There's so many things we do that we should know. Those things are not in our culture. And for the fact that we are seen doing them makes us weak. It puts us in that position of weakness. I think that's what for an African man, I don't believe that I should kneel down to propose to a woman I want to marry.
Excuse me.
You understand? If I'm a king and I'm bringing you in as my queen, there's no king that kneels down for the queen.
Yeah.
And Africans, we are kings. You understand? And our wives, our women are supposed to be our queens. So why would I kneel down as a king? So that means from the beginning of the union, of the relationship, you have submitted your authority as a king to the queen. And I think by the time we go on discussing this topic, we'll see why there are so many issues in marriages today in Africa, which were not so before. Yeah. African marriages never had issues. Our forefathers married, even though they married more than one woman. Even though they married more than one woman.
Or social media
they didn't have any problem for as long as they lived. The only thing that ended marriages then was death. Unlike now. So because, first of all, the relationships we have now starts on a false premise. It is important that we look into this and look at the things that are not our culture that we have brought into our practice and discuss and know how to deal with them.
Can we start by defining?
I want to
go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I wanted to ask the definition.
Yeah,
of weakness.
I wanted to start with defining what weakness. A weak man or who a weak man is.
Okay, so do that.
What does that mean? What does it mean for a man to be weak?
Okay. You want to say something?
I actually wanted to ask the same question.
Yes, I'm asking.
In this context,
yeah.
In this context,
weakness simply means a man who does not know what his position as a man is. A man who does not understand the authority of manhood. A man who does not understand the position of being
of leadership,
of being the responsibility of being a man.
Yeah, to lead.
You know, there's this saying that to be a man is not a day's job.
Yeah,
you understand. And in Africa, men are meant to lead. Men are meant to give direction. Saying that the man leads does not mean the woman is not important. It does not take anything away from the woman. The woman's position is to run the affairs of the home, of the family, under the leadership, under the instruction of the man. So when we say that a man is weak, it simply means the man
is relinquishing his
does not understand. Not mostly relinquishing. Sometimes you don't even know. I think these days men don't even know what their position is. Men don't even know what their responsibility is. That's what makes a weak man. not
Okay.
weakness in physical terms. Not that your neighbor will be able to beat you or something. No, it's mental. It's mental, most importantly, to understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I were to our previous, excuse me, what we're talking about before. First, I like to differ a bit from what you said, that marriages didn't used to have problems
In Africa.
Africa before, because I kind of think.
No, I didn't say marriages didn't have problems.
Okay.
I said marriages lasted forever. Not there always be problems. Once you have two people, there will be problems.
Okay.
But even the problems were dealt with within the marriage.
Yes, but in some cases, I think the women did suffer more in the early days.
Well, how do you decide? Did they tell you?
I will come to that because we're going to talk more about it. I'm sure we'll get there. But from stories and experiences that I have heard earlier in the early days, I think women did endure and they were able to hold it together. And I need to leave this marriage now till I die. So that really made some marriages lasted till one person died, because then women, they bottle a lot. Now they don't have the patience to bottle.
Why don't they have the patience? Because men are weak.
We'll come to that.
Men have become weak now.
Okay, I wanted to say something about the proposal thing.
Yeah,
I'm
go
in
ahead.
agreement that it's a weak
That means
thing.
you didn't kneel down too.
I knelt down in a previous relationship and it didn't work. That proves that kneeling down is...
It's not by kneeling down.
It's not by kneeling down.
So are you saying those who knelt down and their relationship worked too?
It's not by kneeling down, so it's inconsequential. Whether you kneel down, you
don't
kneel down. Then in my current...
What we're saying is that the kneeling down is a wrong practice.
Yes, then
it's not actually
wrong,
it's not what makes the marriage.
It doesn't actually shows what you are going into. It counters what you're going into, because you are supposed to lead this woman. Kneeling is symbolic for submission. It's symbolic. If I prostrate, that's worship. That's a sign of adoration. You are a king. That's why in Africa, when you get to the presence of a king, you either kneel down. In fact, some discussions you will kneel down throughout.
Right.
Yes,
Even before our elders, sometimes if elders summon you, you go kneel down throughout
The
conversation. Otherwise, while a day, I can't kneel down for woman. Not because I'm supposed to carry this woman. She's coming to be under my... As in, I'm supposed to be the one that is supposed to lift her, in a sense. I'm supposed to guide her. I'm supposed to protect her. She's supposed to come into security.
Yeah.
I'm now kneeling, so it doesn't tally. She's coming to be secured. It shows that, babe, I don't get... they come... It contrasts each other.
I have a theory though.
It actually contrasts each other.
I have a theory, and it's coming from like a conspiracy that...
So I didn't have sense when I knelt down the first time.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it in the
second
next,
one.
I didn't.
In this one.
Are you saying that men who kneel down don't have sense?
Many of them.
All right, so I have a
Because
theory.
Or did he have sense before?
That's the sign of
let
you
them
don't
hear
get
you.
sense.
I said it's the beginning. For me, I said it's the beginning of humility.
No, let them hear
It's not
you.
the entirety of it, but
It's
I
a
mean,
sign of
it's a
absence
sign.
of
I don't
sense.
follow them talk to you.
So I have a
It's Dino
theory.
James that said so.
I have a theory though, and it's coming from, to answer the question, because the topic is like a question: why are men weak?
Suddenly becoming
And I think there's an entity or a group of entities, a force, a spiritual force, even from the Garden of Eden, that wants to subjugate man, that wants to switch the position or the rights of man. Because if the man leads, and if the man has been leading ever since, I think we would be in a better place as human beings generally. So in the garden, Adam was the one giving the instruction, giving the dominion, giving everything. And his woman came and offered him the fruit that was offered to her by, the devil,
The serpent.
by the serpent. And Adam ate this fruit. And his eyes, both of them, their eyes were opened. And the first thing Adam said when God asked him, Adam, where are you? He he get many other things when if he talk. There are a lot of things to say. But the first thing he said is the woman. He said, I'm naked.
I'm naked.
I'm hiding because I'm naked. And he said,
Who
how
told
did you
you?
know? Who told you that you're naked? And he said, the woman you
Blame shifted.
you know, he shifted blame. See, now why God? I feel say me, I feel say now why God curse man and woman and the serpent. But if you see the cause for the woman are more like blessing. He said, your seed. He could have said that to Adam. He could have said that to Adam because now Adam get dominion. But he said to the woman, your seed shall bruise the head. And that's why Jesus Christ had to come from the virgin, you know. So I feel from that place, man don't lose responsibility.
Yeah.
That was when man became weak.
Let me correct one thing.
Okay.
You know, as we speak, we need to make sure that whatever we say is actually right. So that pronouncement in the garden where God spoke to the woman and said, your seed, he was referring to Jesus Christ. He couldn't have said it to Adam. He couldn't have said it to Adam already because Adam was the one that the garden was handed over to. He was the one giving the instructions. So the sin they committed in the garden was upon Adam.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
So there was no way
He could
God
have
would
said
have
that
said to Adam, your seed.
Yeah, right. Correct.
So that's why he said to the woman, your seed.
Referring
You understand?
that Jesus
Referring
would
to
be
Jesus
human.
Christ. You understand? So Jesus Christ is the seed of the woman. That's why Jesus Christ had to come into this world without the man.
Exactly.
Without
I
Adam.
agree.
You understand?
In fact,
No,
but
you
no,
said
the way he
you
said
said
it.
that you have said it to Adam.
Yeah,
You couldn't
Adam,
have said
yeah,
it to
right.
Adam.
Right.
You don't- God is
because
all-knowing.
Adam lost his responsibility. Adam was actually a son of God.
Yes.
If we see it in that light.
No, Luke
So
said it.
the second son of God, or the real son of God, the only begotten son of God, had to come from a woman because the man lost his responsibility.
Because he sinned.
That's my
Yes, he
yes.
sinned.
Yes,
because he
that-
sinned, first of all. not-
Yes, and that's the context in which I'm saying this. That and so every other thing up till today is to take out the man, make the man weak, send him to war, let him die. If he's not dying in war, let him be useless at home. Empower the woman, and I don't have any problem with him. You know, women being empowered. Proverbs 31 tells us how a woman should be, and we have many great women in the Bible. Deborah is there, Esther
How do you
is
mean
there,
woman
and so
being
many.
empowered? The woman is already empowered.
Yes, I agree.
From creation, the woman actually was empowered from creation. The Godhead said, I will make you a helpmeet.
Yeah.
You understand? So the woman,
Suitable for
the
you.
woman was actually empowered from beginning. The woman was actually made stronger. More emotionally, the woman is stronger. I even believe physically the woman is stronger. I believe the woman is stronger. And
Childbirth
if
and
you
all
want
that.
to, if you want to prove that, if you bring a 5-year-old boy and a 5-year-old girl and you give them the same physical training for 10 years, the woman will beat the boy. You understand? But what happens is that our society shields the woman from physical stuff because our society believes that the responsibility of the man is physical.
Right. True.
And it is because we believe the responsibility of the man is physical. That's why the man's position as a leader is being challenged. You understand? The man's position is not just being the physical leader. Oga, come and change this bulb. Oga, water is not running. Go and help us fetch water from downstairs. No. You understand? But it is because our society, because we don't understand creation, we don't understand what God planned. That's why we think that the man's position, that's why women go to war. Women don't go to war. You understand? That's why we think that men should go and do every hard thing, every tough physical thing. Then when it comes to decision making, when it comes to emotional and psychological and maybe spiritual leadership, the woman starts challenging the man because we think that man is just meant for physical. And that's why our society, when you start hearing of things like women inclusion, this blah, 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 because the society does not understand the plan of God. You understand? Which puts man at the head, as the head of humanity. But it is not as if you cannot come in the workplace and have a woman supervise a man. No, but the family unit. Now, what you're saying about the man being relegated, it is the plan of the devil. Because what has happened now is like the family represents the church. The family represents the church. The man who is the head of the family is like Christ, who is the head of the church. Yeah. So what the enemy is doing now is targeting that family unit. If the enemy can destroy that family unit, where the man
can perverse,
you understand, represents Christ at home. If he's able to destroy that, then he will be able to get to the church. So that is the plan. And most people who fight this women inclusion, women feminism and things like that don't understand the plan of the enemy. They are
Some
just
of them
seeing
are
it
even agents of the plan.
without knowing.
Yes.
They are just seeing it as, oh, that's how life should be. No, that's not how life should be. From the garden, from the time God created man and woman, he put the man as the head. That's why you notice that any home where the man is not the head, no matter how you see the structure of that home is broken.
It's broken.
You understand?
Broken.
So this topic we want to discuss that why are men weak? That's where it starts from. The men we're talking about now were men grown by women, by fathers years back. They are the people who are men now. You and I now that we're men now. We were children some 20, 30 years ago. Today we are men. So if we're weak now, it means that at that point when we were children, the foundation wasn't right. Yeah. The home didn't have the right structure. It's just the way they say that any man who grows up without a father figure will definitely not be okay. And it is true. And that's why we have weak men. Basically, fundamentally, the reason we have more weak men now is because most men we have now did not have the father figure. They did not grow up in a stable home. They did not grow up in a home where the woman was submissive to the man.
And the man led right.
You understand? So that's why now they have grown up to become very weak men. That's why we can be having this kind of argument. If I did not see my grandfather or my father kneel down to propose to my mother, why would I kneel down to propose?
Simple.
It doesn't mean I will not have a good marriage. It doesn't mean I don't love my wife. But it's something I did not see. And the white man cannot put it on me. The white man kneel down to propose maybe because he's in England, that's a queen. A woman is a queen. And a man married her. So if...
Or she married a man.
Let's say Queen Victoria at the time she wanted to marry. The man who came to marry her must kneel down now.
Right.
You understand?
True.
And their society will look at it and feel, since they are kneeling down to propose to the queen, because I'm a queen too, you have to kneel down. And one peasant somewhere will ask the man that wants to marry her to kneel down. And suddenly it becomes obtainable, a norm in their society. And that's what they have brought to Africa. And we are kings from birth. They said this is the cradle of humanity, right? I learned today that Adam is from Okigwe. Yes, there's a woman in America that has done research. Yes,
okay,
that Adam is from Okigwe. You understand? So this is where humanity started. Okay. Adam and Eve were Igbos, according to Africans. You understand?
Possible. You heard that here first on Talk to Podcast.
Yes, originally Adam is from Okigwe. You understand? So imagine us suddenly allowing the white man to bring a culture that is useless to us.
But we're embracing other culture that the white man has brought to us.
If it's useless, we throw it away.
You know,
it's useless.
No, even Africans, we love useless
development.
Things we love embracing very useless things.
That's development as well. We're embracing development.
Like which development?
We're embracing, technology.
Tell me the development. How? No. Technology started in Africa. Don't make that mistake by saying that we're embracing technology. It's not even Egypt. Even before Egypt. In Ethiopia.
Okay.
Civilization started in Ethiopia, not Egypt. Egyptians were colonized by Ethiopians. But the history we have today will not tell you that. A civilization started in Ethiopia. They were the first to fashion the iron. Iron ore, first of all, was in Ethiopia. From there to Egypt, then Egypt colonized the world. Egypt colonized the Romans, and the Romans colonized the world.
Well,
so civilization started in Ethiopia.
Somewhere in descendants of Cain.
Cain, the first person to fashion Tubal Cain.
Yes.
The first person to fashion weapons.
I thought it was later said they were the ones who became Egyptians or something. I can't remember.
But let's look at.
No, I want to say except I want to say something about another practice that we do.
Right.
I don't know if it falls into the weak man thing but we collected this one too from our people outside, which is we doing 2 weddings.
Yeah,
traditional
white wedding.
I don't call our weddings traditional. Our wedding,
the real wedding, our wedding,
and another
ceremony.
man's wedding.
So that one
does it fall into this category? Also?
No, it doesn't fall into the category of weakness. That one is that one was caused or is caused by the church. Religion. I think religion brought about that one because what happened is that when the white man brought Christianity, or when Christianity returned, let me not say brought because Christianity actually started from Africa.
When it returned,
when Christianity returned when they used Christianity to come and deceive us the second time.
Their version.
You understand? Their version of Christianity.
Yeah.
They also made us believe that all our practices were evil. You understand?
Yeah.
So at that point, the people who embraced that white man's religion, the one the white man brought, were made to believe that every practice, you understand, every indigenous practice was evil. So the ones who wanted to marry at that time were not satisfied with the tradition, with their own marriage, which is calling your parents and calling the parents of the person you want to marry, and they agree and they give you people their blessings.
Right.
So after doing that,
Which is actually what is in the Bible.
yes, after doing that, when they go to the church, you understand, because of religion forced it on them to also take the Christian
vows.
matrimony. I be Christian. What's it called again? Church wedding. You understand?
And they say if you don't do that, God does not
Exactly.
endorse your marriage.
So at some point, what we started doing, because we're very pretentious and very dubious and very double-minded people here in Africa, we now start giving unto Caesar what belongs to Caesar and to God what. So you go home, you do your African marriage with your people to satisfy them, to give your family and your spouse's family whatever they have demanded, and you also come to church and you do the white wedding to satisfy the church, which eventually became a norm too. So that whole having the African marriage and having the white wedding was actually introduced by religion.
But as a man now that understands this, should you now do
Many
this?
men are beginning to.
Because I didn't do
So
it.
it is difficult.
When I came to the
reason,
understanding, I didn't do.
the reason most people are doing it now, most people are doing it now is for legal documentation, because our African marriage has no legal documentation.
There's
Customary.
No, they don't give you any
They don't give you any
document. They don't give you any
document,
document.
But you can go to court afterwards.
Yes.
to do
So
what
what
is-
people-
I'm talking about.
What people do is people go do either courts or church to have the legal documents. That's the only way your marriage is legalized. You understand? If you do only the African traditional or African marriage, you have no legal document. You cannot prove that you're married. So because we live, like you said, a civilized society, you may not be able to transact. You may not be able to do a lot of things, especially these now. People are jackbying and up and down. You will not be able to do things like that. So that's why people still go to court or do the Christian marriage. But the truth is that once you have done the African marriage, that one that is your culture, I think you are married.
You are married.
So the rest is just for formality. and to
Okay,
get
are there
documentation.
other instances inside marriage and outside of marriage where we can say we've seen one or two or cases where we can say men are weak? What are other examples of this weakness that we can say this guy they misbehave? You understand? In a let's look at a society and generally we can say men are weak.
So the thing is that there's so much pressure on the man now. So much pressure. I was watching one advert some days ago, I think MTN advert, and the first thing, the guy, I think he's I don't know what he is, some guy, he's a recent MTN advert is running right now. The first thing the guy said is that their organization leadership has 45% female.
Yeah.
Whatever. You understand? And I looked at that and I was like, who wrote this script? You understand? That is the pressure they are putting men. So seeing that, the first thing that comes to your mind, you mean women occupy 45% of the leadership in MTN. So men have only 55%. And the minute you start looking at that, in fact, the next time they're going to run any advert like that in the next 5 years, the men would have lost more of that. You understand? There was no need for that. Leadership is leadership. Why are you emphasizing?
It should be based on merits.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what that
Not
guy
based on gender.
what that guy didn't know he was doing is that he's telling the world that female leadership is growing in MTN. Because if he wasn't up to 45%,
I think it was deliberate.
Exactly.
Yes.
So that's the pressure we are on now. Men are seriously under pressure. If it wasn't up to 45% some years ago, and suddenly now you are announcing that it is 45%, which means it's going to grow. Just like Peter Obi said during his campaign that his government in Anambra State had 45% women. So you see what is happening. They are suddenly advertising and promoting women in power. There's nothing wrong with the woman being in power. There's nothing wrong with anybody being in power. We're all humans. If you come to an office and you have a female leader, fine. If you have a male leader, fine. But the minute you start celebrating and you start celebrating women who are occupying leadership positions. What you are doing is that you're suddenly you're suddenly telling the men that they are losing position. You understand?
So should that make a man feel insecure when you hear
men
that?
are insecure already? Men are insecure already. I told you the first reason men are insecure. The first reason men are insecure is that most men now did not have the father figure. It starts from the home. The home unit is what the enemy has targeted, and the enemy is really trying to destroy the home unit, which we are falling for. You understand? And which I told you, look at the number of divorces you have now is growing.
Yeah.
You understand? These things will tell on the man, because the more divorces you have, the more boys you have being trained by mothers. The more boys you have growing up without a father figure. And once a man grows up without a father figure, you understand, he's a weak man.
Feminine.
He's a weak man. And I'm sure some women want to argue that is not true. But I can tell you for a fact. Listen, let me tell you. I sit at home. I sit at home with my wife, and I watch my sons. If my son comes to my wife, there are things she will be able to see and there are things she will not be able to see. She may be able to see that the boy did not brush his teeth. She may be able to see that he did not pass his exams very well. She may be able to see that he did not wash the plate, but she will not see that he's not walking like a proper man. She will not notice that he's not standing tall with his head high. With his head high. You understand? Those are things that if you're not a father, you cannot see. And why are you able to see it as a father? You're able to see it as a father from your own experience. You have gone out in the society, you have interacted, you have dealt with people, you have been intimidated as a man.
Yeah.
You understand? Or you have stood strong as a man. So you know what it takes for a man to stand strong.
So are you saying the reason why we have some boys now that do their hand like this, like girls, and all those...
They don't have proper fathers.
Cross-dressing that we see is trending now. Almost all content creators as dressed like
that.
opposite.
I don't watch content.
I'm saying
this is the devil. Listen, let me tell you. Those things are satanic, but people don't know. Those people are agents of. Listen, let me tell you. Check America. Check all the celebrities in America. Check people in Hollywood. Before you blow in America,
you must cross-dress.
Go and check.
In their movies.
Either in your music video or in a movie or something.
Blacks.
Yes, people don't understand. Listen, the enemy has a plan.
Yeah.
To destroy the family unit. Listen to what we're saying.
Completely.
The enemy has a plan to destroy the family unit. And how do you destroy the family unit? You can only destroy the family unit by destroying the father
of humans.
So these things we're talking about, all these people you mentioned, listen, go and check them closely. While they were growing up, they never had a father figure.
Or their father was a weak person also.
Well, that's why I say father figure. I didn't say they never had a father.
Okay, yeah.
You know, there's a difference between a father and a father figure. You understand? They never had a father figure. Listen, you cannot have a father figure. Do you know when my son comes to greet me in the morning, sometimes I say, stand fine. You understand? Sometimes I'm passing, I tap his back and he turns, I say, stand well. You understand? There are some things you bring to the family as a father figure. You understand? You will not stand and watch your children, your male children, grow up as weaklings. You will not stand and watch them grow up effeminate. Their mother may not be able to notice.
They might say the boy is caring. No, this boy
exactly. She wants to show love and things like
that. That's what I do. My kids are still young, a girl and a boy. They're in their 6 and 5. So my wife started teaching the girl how to wash plates, how to do this and do. So the boy started doing, because they're very close, just 1 year apart. So the boy started, mommy, me too. I allowed them. They started it. One day, she now called the boy for the boy to join the girl. I called him back. I said, sit down here with me. I told him, sit down here with me. Daddy's walking. Sit down and watch me.
Exactly.
I did that. And I've been doing that not all the time. She calls him to the kitchen because I still want him to learn those things. But some other times, I call him back. Come and sit down here. And he started developing. Daddy, teach me how to edit. Daddy, teach me how to do. Daddy, teach me. I say, correct.
Yeah, I hope they won't say this is toxic masculinity, because these are the terms they use for. Because I noticed that when I started cooking was when my hand started doing like this. See, now when I stopped to the cook, I don't like for you.
So there's nothing wrong with cooking.
Oh my God.
There's nothing wrong with cooking. See, there's nothing wrong with a man cooking.
It's just to balance
so
things.
even what he has said about asking his son to sit with him and watch him, the lesson is not in that editing.
Yeah, that's
The
not
lesson is in some things he's going to say to the boy while they are editing.
Yes.
You understand? When I think about my father, I lost my father at a very young age. I was 10 years old when my father died, but I learned so much from my father. There was a day I wanted to go to school. So I came out and I was walking on the road. I was late and my father drove past and he stopped and he reversed and he told me, he said, when you're late to school, don't walk like this. Take 10 steps walking, run 10 steps. Take 10 steps walking, run 10 steps, that you will achieve half the time, or you will cover half the time. You understand? And I started doing that. I did that even in secondary school. So when I was in secondary school then, when I'm late for prep or something, I never walked or ran all the way. When you run all the way, you arrive where you're going very tired and sweating. When you walk all the way, you arrive there late. You understand? So I learned that lesson and so many other lessons. When you have your father around you, because your father has gone through life to become your father, there are things he failed at that he doesn't want you to fail at.
There's something like that.
He's going to start pointing them out early for you. There are some things he's going to start teaching you that nobody will teach you. If there's no father in the house, you will not learn it.
There are two things my dad taught me that I can never forget. I sing it in my house. They're already tired in my house. One is, life does not have duplicates. He sang it in our devotions. He kept saying it to us. My mom never said anything, but my dad kept on saying those things. And the second thing, we're driving. He just came out from the church and we're driving. From nowhere, we saw students on the street. My dad just said, "You see," he was pointing the women, and he said, "From here down is trouble." He didn't say a word outside that. Since that day, when I see women, the same picture just plays in my head. From here down is trouble. He was trying to tell me to not be promiscuous. That's all he said. And that was, my dad never talked to us directly without quoting scripture. So, but that was one time he did that. And I felt like this is a father talking to a son. That's how I felt that day. All the scripture, preaching and devotion, this thing, none stayed in my head like that.
But is it also possible for a man to have a father figure and still turn out to be a weak man?
I was going to say something. So now, most men these days, most fathers think that their only responsibility is provision. Once you're able to pay school fees, once you're able to put food on the table, or that's what you owe your children. We have become so irresponsible that men don't even stay at home anymore. Men don't even share times with their children. And most importantly, our fathers, there were so many things that our fathers didn't do in front of us. I had a friend in secondary school that found out when we were in SS1 that his father smoked. He didn't know. He didn't know his father was a smoker till we got to SS1. And how did he find out his father was a smoker? He started smoking. And one day, he brought Benson and Hedges home and mistakenly forgot it on the dining table. And his father took the Benson and Hedges. You understand? And when the father came back at night, the father now invited him to his room and now asked him, "Do you now smoke?" Where he was trying to argue. He now realized that his father was smelling of cigarettes. That's how he found out his father smoked. So all the while the father smoked, because the father understood that it wasn't nice, he kept it away from the children. You understand? Until the boy was old enough to make decisions. But now, the kind of fathers we have these days, they don't care. They go out from work to the club. They come to the home. You come to the home. Now you see people build their houses and they have bars and they have drinks, alcohol everywhere. Nobody is trying to even shield the child. Knowing that there are things they should know and there are things they shouldn't know. Nobody's talking to the child. You understand? So the children are exposed to everything. So it's even only mothers struggling now to define the child. Only mother struggling to teach the child. And what will the mother teach the child? First of all, to the mother wants the child to pass well. The mother wants her son to look better than the son of her friend. Yes. So what she will do is take him to the barbering salon, carve his hair very well, buy him nice clothes, make sure he reads to pass his exam. He's always looking nice. You understand? But what a man needs, the substance that makes you a man, comes from the father. But the fathers are not available to do that. And once they put food on the table, they assume they have done their duty. The next thing, they are outside, they are grooving, enjoying themselves, doing dorime up and down. You understand? And that's what the child is seeing. You understand?
And then when it comes to drilling the children, there's an extent the mom can
By
do
drilling,
it.
you mean correcting,
Correcting,
right? Discipline.
Yeah,
Yeah,
discipline.
There's an extent the mom
No, even no. Some mothers can actually discipline the child. What we're talking about is not child discipline. You understand? What makes a man is not discipline.
Not discipline.
What makes a man is the substance that is in a man, and only a man. It's just the way anointing is transferable. You know, the way they say Elisha followed Elijah and his mantle. You understand? There's something that you cannot get as a man if you don't get it from a man.
I think we don't have this culture anymore. There's this culture of when you cross into manhood. You know, there's a ceremony. It used to be. I don't know if it's not. Of course, it's not anymore.
Well,
but
in
the Jewish tradition, it's called bar mitzvah or something like
Yeah.
that. In African, it's called the ritual, the rite of passing, where boy grows into a man.
manhood.
Yeah.
That one. I'm not sure. It wasn't even done to us. I'm not even sure it was done to our fathers.
Yeah, but talking about the pressure,
No, I wanted to still stress on
on this one,
the
okay.
discipline part. What I meant is not about flogging the child and this. Like, I watch my wife when she corrects the children. Sometimes she gets sometimes too passionate about certain things the children do, and when I see the child do it, I know, me as the father, I know the cause. I can see where this thing is coming from. She is reacting to what the child has done. But me, I'm seeing what has caused it. For example, the children is jumping chair, jumping chair. Don't jump this chair, don't jump this chair. Carry king, quack, 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 quack. I'll just seize every access to cartoon for 1 week or more. Jumping chair will reduce.
they're watching
Because
Tom and
they're
Jerry.
watching Tom and Jerry to jump. So I seize it, and then they wake up in the morning. Once they wake up, everybody must wake for those that are sleeping. Because they start noise. I tell them that I've used cane in no work. My mama, they use cane no work. We go the day awake for night.
So you see, that's what we're talking about men. You know, men are more analytical than women.
Yeah, that's it.
Men are more analytical than women. Women can actually multitask than a man.
They do it.
But
So
men are
well.
more analytical. So what happens to most women is that because they can multitask, they think they are more analytical than the man. No. If you bring a particular issue and put it down for a man and a woman, the man will actually analyze and prefer solution better than the woman.
A strong man.
But what happens is that because the woman is able to deal with so many issues at once, in her mind, she thinks that she's ahead. That her ability to take on so many things at once makes her think that she's ahead. But for a man picks one issue per time and he will deal with it very well. You understand? So in training a male child, you have to also train a male child that way, because for each issue you deal with, you teach the child how to deal with that issue. You understand? I'll give you an example. When girls start growing up, you know, their mother will teach them how to be domesticated, to teach them how not to deal with strangers, how not to deal with men, how to avoid men, blah, blah, blah. So many things like that. Why? Because she needs to teach them what it means to be a woman. You understand? If you are not careful, if you leave your boys with the mother in that same manner, you understand? She will also want to teach the boys the same. Don't mix with strangers. Mind your business. Be a good boy. Be this one, that. You understand? But as a man, sometimes you watch your male children make mistakes. You allow them to make the mistakes. Because if they don't make it now, they'll make it later.
Doesn't that cause a double standard in terms of how we raise children? I'll give you an example. From community where we grew up. When a girl gets pregnant out of wedlock, a teenage girl, there's shame. If it's a boy that gives
there's nothing like that.
girl belly,
There's nothing like that.
he heal himself.
So how do you mean double
I
standard?
think it's double standard.
No.
They're both committed the same.
No, it's not double
The
standard.
same- the
No, it's
same-
not double standard. Yes, it's not double standard.
Okay.
It is not double standard because the woman, for a woman to be pregnant, she allows somebody enter her.
Right.
You understand?
Mm.
And it is assumed that as a girl, you have been trained properly not to allow anybody enter you. You understand? So you are the receiving end. So that's why the shame comes to the family.
Yeah.
You understand? We received it. You opened up you are our family. So you opened us up for somebody to enter.
Right.
Unlike the boy is the one
Sending.
showing why do you understand?
Yeah.
So the person who receives, you understand?
Receives the glory and the shame.
Exactly. The shame will definitely come to you more
Okay.
than the
So
guy.
why is the boy exonerated from some level of shame? There should be a
Yes,
level of
I feel
no,
I feel
so
the-
naturally, naturally, men are promiscuous by nature.
Is it?
Yes, men are more promiscuous than women by nature.
Is this not
Okay,
part of the
women,
by
women.
nature.
You mean weak
By
men?
na-
By nature.
than
So
women, yes.
I'll give you an
It's a
example.
hormonal
You mean
thing.
weak men?
If you're
Natural
passing,
and hormonal
Is
thing.
this? I think this is. We are making a case for weak men.
No,
Right.
no.
Self-control.
I agree.
no, forget
We're not
self-control.
talking of
Self-control.
self-control.
We're not
Yeah.
discussing
We're talking of
self-control.
By
We're not in
nature.
church.
We're talking of by
We're not in church.
biologically.
So does that mean a
See,
man
listen,
should have
listen,
self-control?
apart from Christianity, boys, the hormones in men start
Yes.
reacting from 16,
It's
17,
hormonal.
14, 15, 16, 17.
Puberty is.
what's the other one for the women?
What do
The
you mean that is?
testosterone make us
So at the age of from
doesn't mean you should have
13,
self-control.
14, 15, whether
Right.
you like it or not, a male child starts having erection. If you
That's
like,
correct.
make you never even think woman, make you never see woman. If you lie down for bed to sleep for night, in people stand.
That's correct.
You understand?
How can we say the same for? The same
So-
for. See,
It's
it
not-
could be the
it's-
same for women.
No, it's not.
Until we have a
It's
woman
not.
here to
Hold
say
on,
that.
let me tell you.
Mm-mm.
Let me tell you. For a
Biologically, it's
woman,
not the same.
for a woman,
Mm.
Not the same.
for a woman to be sexually aroused, she either has to be thinking about a particular man or be watching something that interests her. For a man to sexually be aroused, he needs nothing.
A man by default.
All he needs is to close. All he needs is to close his eye, lie on his bed, and his.
By default,
You
yeah.
understand?
The
So
experience to do the work.
it's natural. So
Okay.
that's why the blame is more on the woman when something goes wrong. Because for a woman,
are supposed
for
to
anything
be
to
the
happen to a
one
woman, she must
to
totally
cover.
agree to it.
There's a perspective I want us to revisit. I think we've mentioned it before, but it's talking about the pressure that men face. Coming from the angle of this saying that only a dog or a child is loved unconditionally.
Yeah.
A man is loved on the basis of what he provides.
Right.
How do we, do we agree with this statement? And should men just man up? Is this where we tell men to, man up, nobody send you?
Well, everything we're saying here is not 100% true. Even though we're saying, even this one we're talking about, for a man to be a correct man, he needs a father figure. There's still some women that will train a man and you think that he had a father figure.
Absolutely.
So, but what we're doing is we're generalizing,
Ideal
basically.
case.
Yes, in an ideal case, that's how it should be. So, what you're saying true is this. What you're saying is also the same thing. You understand? Ideally, a man is loved based on what he is. That's why you see men seek power, success. You understand?
Based on doings.
Yes, based on doing, because that's what makes you a man. That's what the society
definition. Yeah,
Yeah,
society.
society.
defines as you being a man. You understand? But there are still exceptional cases. There are still some people who will just love you for no reason. You understand? But for you as a man, you are loved for that. And that's one of the mistakes men carry into marriages or into raising a family. Once they are able to have that success, once they're able to bring something on the table, most times financial ability, and maybe even able to satisfy their woman in the bedroom, they assume their job is done.
Yeah. They think they're a man.
You understand? They
A
think that's
man.
what makes them a man. And when they start raising children, they forget that they owe their male children to teach them what it means to be a man.
Because they don't even know it, some of them.
You understand? So that's why we have weak men, because these boys grow up not being nurtured. They grow up not seeing a father and learning from a father what fatherhood or what manhood,
Leadership.
you understand, should be. Then by the time he starts getting to 14, 15, 16, he starts weaving his hair, he starts wearing earrings, and his female fans or friends outside start admiring him, and he thinks that's what life is all about. Then before you know it, he start mixing up with people outside who will tell him that anything your girlfriend asks you for, give her. Or if you don't give her, you're a weak man. You understand? Then you by yourself become weak without knowing that you're becoming weak.
That's
You understand? Some men cannot say no to a woman.
Yeah.
Because nobody taught them.
Yeah.
But a father figure at some point will tell you to disappoint your girlfriend. Just to see how she will react.
And in some cases, they even see the father tell the mother no.
Exactly.
They see the
so
father
they
tell the
learn
mother
they
no.
learn that
Yeah,
at some
I saw
point
it.
in life you have to say no.
Yes.
When you can't, when you're not able, you should say no.
Yes.
You understand?
And then even some fathers don't even know how to say no to their children.
You be like, I don't do mumu before.
The reason some fathers cannot say no to maybe their even spouse or children is guilt. Most times, if you check very well, yes, guilt of sins they've committed.
Yeah.
Either they have not been available, especially to the children. When
So
you have not been available,
they
they want to make up.
their
Yes.
absence.
Yeah.
Then for their spouses, when you have not emotionally been available too. Or even physically available.
There's another reason to add to that too. I've heard a friend of mine say that. I think we're going in what do you call this bus again, Seth? We're going in one of them, and he was saying that his children would never ever go through this.
Why? Has he put in enough work?
And I asked him,
has he put in enough work?
That guy, it's not like we were poor or he's poor. We just need to move from one place to one place. The guy was even well to do.
No, but
but he had when he said that, I looked at him and said, "Okay, you don't succeed, Abi, or you did succeed, Abi. You are achieving something, but you enter keke, you enter molo, you enter this." I told him that. Do you know that your child has to go through a process?
No. He's not wrong.
Saying he has to go through that.
He's not wrong saying that.
No,
but the only thing I will ask is that I hope he has put in enough work.
No, see where I was going
to make that happen.
I was trying to tell him that your child will need to go through his process in life.
His own process.
He doesn't have to be that.
But he can avoid. He can avoid Molue being his child's process.
I don't think he can avoid.
He can.
It too.
No, he can.
I don't. If you say,
he can.
say
Otedola avoided his children going through Molue.
But they can
like
choose to still go through.
No,
the
they
model.
cannot. They can't.
They can't.
They cannot. No, they cannot. They cannot. Except they want to do it as an adventure.
That's what I'm saying.
Adventure is different from life.
Necessity.
No, it is when you're doing it
that's what I'm saying.
as life.
There are some statements you make. You don't know that you don't have the power to make those statements. There's nothing wrong with that statement. No, what he was trying to say.
You know, our words are very powerful.
No, see, let me be clear what he was trying to say. You know, when you are making some statement like that puts you in a position that you are the one that determine you are meticulously determining every aspect of your child's life. That thing can breed a narcissist in the child. That thing can breed a child that will follow a path that he doesn't want to follow. That's the angle I saw him speaking. Not like you said, not like you cannot determine if your child would trek or not enter.
I don't think there's anything wrong with him saying that.
I'll give you let's paint a scenario.
I don't think there's anything wrong with him saying that, because the truth is, as a father, we are actually supposed to make life easier for our children. And it would be wrong for you as a father to wish your child to face the same hardship you have faced as a child. So if you as a father, I'll give you an example. Growing up, one of the things I told myself, I said, I will not like my children see me answer sir to any man. That by the time my children come of age to know what it means to have a boss, I will not have a boss anymore. I will be my own boss. You understand? Because I don't want them to see me answer sir to any man. I did not see my father answer sir to any man. You understand? It was a wish. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I had to back it up with hard work. You understand? So I started hustling as if there's no tomorrow. So that by the time you get to that point, there's only a problem when you get to that point and you make this, you don't allow the children, or you make the children understand, my children don't know my value. It is deliberate that they don't know my value. They don't know our family value. They don't know our worth. Why? Because I don't want it to get into their head. But that doesn't stop me from working hard enough to make sure that they don't go through the same hardship I went through.
You mean your financial
value.
worth? Your financial
My
value.
worth, however you look at it, whether financial or position.
I just want to make it clear.
No,
to
which
our
other
audience.
word now? Is value.
When you say they don't know your value, go be like, say they don't know, they don't value you.
No,
okay.
that's
I
not.
wanted to correct
no,
that.
that's not. No,
Okay.
they don't know by value is different from they don't value you now. No,
okay.
they don't know my worth, so that it will not get into their head. So my children live as if they come from a poor home. I'm telling you.
Are you serious?
For real, yes.
But that,
You understand?
That one
And it's deliberate.
you have to believe about.
No, I'm telling you.
No, but that's
You
exactly.
can interact with
know
them
me,
if
I
you
know
want.
you,
No,
But that's exactly.
I'm telling you about their
Wow.
mindset. I'm
But
telling you
that's
about their
exactly what
mindset.
I was trying to say. That's exactly what I was trying to say, because there's the mentality you build in yourself when you tell yourself that this and that and that and that and that. Then you now come into that position. You now so much shield your children that they now think like you said your children live as if they are poor because you still expose them to certain things. I don't know if you understand.
I want to paint an actual scenario.
Cover them
It's a
from
mindset.
Zinoji, I want to paint an actual scenario.
But somebody will tell, and the keke man that you say, okay, I think we're in keke, not even in Mole. The keke man, I now asked a question in that keke that deal. I asked the guy, get house? The guy has built house, so the keke guy has. Two of us no get house.
I never build house. No reason I don't get house.
So I was trying to tell him that, see, there are certain things you say. You don't understand that you are actually blocking.
No,
they are children.
He did not call his children in front of you and start telling the children you will not enter keke. No,
sir. They are children in Unilag now. Now this Lagos, their family day. If not be boats or Uber, they not go feel rich house.
Yes.
And so when you come and say a statement like, I know my children pass through this thing, situation will come one day, boats go shut down. There was a day people could do other boats.
Why would you?
They were stranded.
The day situation come, make them face them.
That's the point.
No. You people are making a mistake.
No, I understand what you're saying.
My wish and what I work for is different from reality.
Yeah.
Or what will happen any day.
I want my pikin to enter
God forbid,
keke,
God forbid, these children you're talking about wake up to and they tell them their parents are both dead. What about that one? Even you that you're saying you want your children to enter keke, you can wake up tomorrow and the war will break out in Lagos. What's going to happen? We're talking about what your plans are, what you're thinking about, what you want for your children. There's nothing wrong with demanding better conditions for them from what you have experienced. Why would I want any of my child to enter
nobody hopes for
a bus?
Nobody
The
hopes
first
for.
time I was robbed. Now inside Molu, now they picked my pocket for the first time in my life. I was traumatized. Why would I want to wish my son that?
True.
You understand? So saying that you don't want your son to enter Molu, there's nothing wrong with that. What I say is, don't finish saying that and go and lie down and be sleeping.
I agree with that.
That's where you become an idiot.
When you say that,
You must back it up.
Yes.
you must back it up.
Exactly.
But me, I'm still on the position that I, as much as I don't want my child to go through certain things in life, I would like my child to go through his process, however it is.
Definitely, everybody.
His process is the process, and the things you don't want him to go through,
I would like him to go through his process.
You don't say it to the child.
So I don't say it.
First of all, let us even understand that I'm sure we're all Christians, and we understand the power in our tongue. You understand? And even this child's process you're talking about, who says I cannot by prayers determine the child's process? Why can't I? I can speak the process I want for my child into existence.
That's true.
You understand?
I don't agree with that actually, because that's one of the things I think that we have coined up from scripture, thinking that we have the power.
If you don't agree with that, that is you. In fact, I have spoken
But
my children's
look at
process
scriptures.
into existence.
In this case, now that we've mentioned scriptures, let's look at scriptures.
Okay.
Abraham, tough guy, fought wars, fought battles, won, conquered. In fact, they kidnapped his nephew at one point. He went there to rescue his nephew. Isaac, I feel say Isaac for Bible now Odoyo. I feel say that guy had an uneventful life.
Yes.
You understand? So we say in two children self, he saw one of them a very unserious child. The other one
before he was born, God said some things about two of them. Before Esau was even born.
What did he do? You see, anyway, maybe now Isaac cause him. Maybe you didn't even prove my point further.
Prove your point.
You understand? But Jacob, that one a cheat. eventually he found favor.
Right.
You understand? My point is, strong fathers usually tend to raise weak sons.
Is that true?
And weak
I
sons
don't agree.
eventually bring out
He's very
tough
right.
fathers.
He's
How
very
true
right.
is that?
Agree.
No, he's very right. And let me tell you why. You know why? Strong fathers don't allow anybody around them do anything. So it's just like God told David, you will not build the temple. He made everything for the temple available. You understand? So what he's saying is true. Most strong men end up having weak, look at Pharaoh now. Most strong men end up having weak children. Why? Because they do everything. And most weak men end up having strong children. Why? Because the children come out and see that their father cannot do anything. Then they start at the very early age to start doing. So now, it's either you, who is the son of a strong man, to realize that you need to wake up and move by yourself, or a strong father to realize that I need to train this my son to become strong. But what he's saying is true. You see this Cristiano Ronaldo son, anything well I made, you know if you play ball when Papa play.
So before we go,
You understand?
I want to
So-
use.
so
I want to
he-
pick
he-
up.
Sorry, why did you say that?
Because his father has done everything.
He can't surpass his father's doing.
He can't even imagine, and his father would not even let him surpass him because he's not exposed.
Messi was sent at 14 years old to Europe.
Sorry, exactly.
I want to
From
say
South
something.
America.
Are we
The
are we-
age-
are
the
we
age-
not
the
contradicting ourselves, sir, when we say strong fathers?
Yeah, I was coming to that.
Produce weak.
Tend to some
Because
strong
our
fathers.
subject is about weak men.
Weak men.
And
Yes.
we've
And we have
established
said-
that weak men are when we don't have father figure.
We are pointing
Yes,
to one of the
now-
reasons
now,
why.
sorry,
So-
let me learn.
a strong father-
Why I differ in this is that what I would determine as a father, as a strong father, is not by a man that does everything, which is something you've already said, sir. It's not by physicality. It's about both. You can have physicality, but it's more mental, more intellectual. And I don't do everything. And I don't want to do everything, because as an intellectual person, you should learn to delegate. You should learn to see other capacity building. You should learn to build people around you. That's what I think a strong man is. Someone who will harness the strength of
Potential of other
everybody
people.
to achieve something. So
Right.
maybe maybe we should define the strong father, that strong
what
man.
you have said is not a strong man.
Okay.
What you have defined is not a
A
strong
wise
man he's
man.
talking about.
It's a
a
wise-
wise
it's not a
person
wise
you have
man.
defined. A strong man is a man who has control, access, and power. You understand? That's a strong man. What you have defined is a wise man who has the ability to use everything around him to achieve what he wants.
So can a strong man also be
You
a wise
understand?
man?
Eh?
A
You can
man
be strong
also
and be wise. You understand? And these two definitions does not fall into the father figure we're talking about. A father figure is that one who is able to impact or transfer the qualities of a real man into his sons. You understand? So when we talk about, let's even use examples. You understand?
Yes,
If
sir.
we're talking about a strong man now, let's say Mike Adenuga is a strong man. Let's say Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a strong man. You understand? Because you understand their position. You understand? It will be difficult for them to have sons half as strong as they are if they are not deliberate and intentional about it.
I agree with that one.
You understand? That's what we're talking
that's what
about.
I
That's
mean,
what we're talking
actually.
about.
I agree with
So
that.
for a man in that position to achieve, look at Bukola Saraki. His father must have intentionally and deliberately, you understand, trained him, knowing
Yes.
very well that he's very powerful.
I think it's a very good example for
You-
that. Because if you
yes.
mention Saraki today, people would assume you're talking about the son.
Yes.
Most people don't even know about the father.
About
But
the
the father was a real
So
OG.
if you go and check the men in the father's class, they don't have any son that is in the son's class.
Yeah.
So he must have been intentional and very deliberate in raising his son. You understand? He must have been available for the child. He must have, at some point, allowed the child make his own decisions. You understand? I have a son who is a science
I
student.
get the point.
You understand? I have a son who is a science student, and suddenly yesterday he woke up and said he doesn't want to be a science student anymore. I looked at him and I looked away. You understand? This is his decision. You know what I told him? I said, go and tell me why you want to change. Write it out and tell me what subjects you want to take that will help you get to what you want to become in life. I have given him assignment. If he's able to do that assignment, he will make his decision himself. You understand? But when he came to ask me that question, the first thing that hit me is that this guy is like me. Because it's the kind of thing I will do. At the beginning of the session, he said that he wants to be science. He's bright enough to be a science student. 1 month, 2 months into the session, he decides he doesn't want to be a science student anymore. I will be damned if I tell him, go on, sit down. I've destroyed him. You understand?
Yeah.
I've destroyed him.
Very well.
You understand?
Wow.
Then if I'm emotional as a mother, you will embrace him and say, okay, my son, you can change his commercial if you want. No. What I have done is that I have taken emotion out of it.
Yeah.
We have to deal with
Analyze
it strictly.
logically.
Yeah.
So you go and analyze this thing you want to do.
this
If he's
thing,
able to analyze it, what it means is that he's been thinking about it and he knows exactly what he wants.
Yes.
Then you support him.
That's it.
You understand?
Yeah.
So training a man is not easy.
That's a strong man.
No, that's not a strong man.
That's a wise man.
That's not a strong man. That's a father. You understand? That's being a father. He's not a strong man. That's being a father. The day I show him the part of me that is a strong man, he cried.
Maybe you go
He
run.
cried all day.
You
Yes.
go run.
You understand?
You don't
So
collect.
you need to balance life for your children. You need to balance, especially your male children. You need to balance life. And those are the things that will give them what it takes for them to become strong tomorrow.
Does the church have a role to play in this? Because you see,
Yes.
if you listen to
You have
sermons
brought
these
church
days,
again. You have brought church
if you
again
listen
into this
to
thing.
sermon,
Yes.
What did
these
church
days,
do to you?
it's
people?
like from especially pastors that teach about marriage.
Yes.
It's like the man is always the problem in their
Yes.
sermons.
Yes.
It's,
The
I
church
don't
has a
know.
role.
Eh?
And the role is long.
The truth,
understand? And there are more women in church.
about those sermons is that the truth about those sermons is that the women are actually the backbone of the church.
There are more women in
Yes.
church.
There are more women. The women even give more. They are the ones that are very
Activity based.
yes, they are the ones available for church activities, and they are the ones who always
Support
pay their
more.
tithe and
Yes.
offering very well. They are very
Start an offering again.
they are-
Sha.
yes, they are very when it comes to supporting the church, exactly.
Very,
women.
very
So the
supportive.
church cannot do women. I was sitting in church one day.
Church
I was sitting
organization.
in church one day. It was Father's Day. I was sitting in church, and the man of God standing on the pulpit said that the fathers should stand up. And while the fathers were standing up, he looked around and he said, single mothers should also stand up. You are a father. I was disappointed.
That's
that
an
day.
error.
Big error.
Error. Gigantic
Nothing
error.
makes you a father if you're not a father. So there's no, no matter how single a mother is, you cannot be a father.
Gigantic error.
The man said, father, stand up. As we were standing, he said, single mothers too, you play the role of a father. Please stand up.
Did
I
he
was
say
like, why
that
will a
for-
man of
for
God-
single fathers?
No, he will not say that for single,
Single
fathers.
fathers.
He said that. Do you know why he said that? Because he must have looked around the church and he must have seen 1 or 2 single mothers that he knows are very bitter with the man that impregnated them. And they
Or
are
that
very
le-
supportive
that-
to his
that- that
ministry.
divorced them.
So for him to humor them, he made that statement. It's being socially correct in the house of God, which is wrong.
It's wrong.
You understand? So if you're talking about the church supporting, even this weakness we're talking about in men, the church
The church is the one.
Sorry,
can be
sorry,
blamed.
let me
Even
say
from
this.
the way pastors are dressing. Yes, always looking clean, wearing suit, coiling their hair and everything. It's as if masculinity is being removed from the menfold.
Yes.
So a man of God should be looking
when
tattered and
I-
not.
I
No,
heard-
not
I
said
heard
should
a
be
looking
Nigerian-
tattered.
I heard a Nigerian pastor say this on the altar, that men don't apologize. What they just do is they just come back and buy you suya.
Buy you suya, buy you
give you
gifts.
that. Then I forgotten what he said. Women, men, when you come back from work, you buy. What is this? Is what I was like, what is this? You are supporting the carnal nature. You are supporting the nature that we are supposed to be reading of. Because when you say men don't apologize, they just buy you. You are endorsing narcissistic characters. And these are traits that some weak men have. They can't take correction because it takes you to be very strong to take correction. Correction is one thing that people cannot take these days. You just tell somebody something now, they just flare off. So men, and when you stand, I actually witnessed this. where a what do they call it? I beg,
Man of God.
counseling session.
Married counselor.
The man was counseling the couple. I think I witnessed it. It was on air, YouTube or so, and yeah, it was on YouTube. So a lady played a video that went viral of a pastor. He said, then the pastor, when they were saying what they were saying, the pastor now turned to the woman and started commending the woman in front of the man for something that the discussion itself is obvious that the man is a simp, a yes ma person. That he's supposed to turn to the man and tell Oga, wake up. And now it was unbelievers that were playing this tape, telling us that the church is a problem. They are supporting women to be choking their men at home and making men say you have to be more loving, you have to, instead of, now women, what is common in sorry, I have to say this because I have friends. What's common in many marriages is that women no longer take accountability. And men are now, she's a woman now, you have to work with her with understanding. You have to be, she's a weaker vessel. To hold somebody accountable is now being...
So let me tell you one of the problems. Men cannot hold men accountable because the men themselves are guilty. I keep saying it.
No, sir. Let's assume. That the men. Let's first of all assume that the men are okay. Because there are many cases where men are okay.
No.
There are many cases.
No, it's not true.
In fact, there are many. I've heard stories. I've witnessed stories of many cases where the men are okay. Yes, I'm not just saying my opinion here. I've witnessed. When I mean okay, I don't mean perfect.
Yes, if the man is okay and he doesn't have a lot of cobwebs in his own cupboard or wardrobe, exactly. There's no way you will not hold the woman accountable. The only reason you're not able to hold the woman accountable is because your own account don't spoil.
I don't, sir. Some women,
or the woman no more accountable.
She doesn't want to hold. She doesn't want to be held accountable. Today's women, no one agree make you hold them accountable. They deflect, like you know when you.
So that's the weakness we're talking about. Now.
That's part of it.
That's the weakness we're talking about.
They deflect.
So where did the man learn it from? Where did he get it from? Men are not men anymore. That's what we're talking about. Men are no longer men. Men are beginning to succumb to pressure and things surrounding them.
Sorry.
And how do we get ourselves to that point? How do we get ourselves to that point? How did we get to that point? We got ourselves to that point by not taking charge from day one.
That's it.
You understand?
From day one.
From not taking charge from day one.
Day one. That day you knelt down.
From day one, you marry a woman. From day one, you allow her mother or her father run your house. You're setting yourself up for trouble. You know that early stage when it's sweet. They will come and be nice to you, be sweet to you, advise you on the car to use, advise you on the color to paint your house. I'll tell you that this is where you are keeping your TVs. You don't eat dinner before 7. No, it's not nice.
Not true.
6:30, eat and go and sleep. You start saying yes, mommy, yes, mommy. You are setting yourself up for disaster.
Yes.
Because it is that same.
That is when you should set the record straight. Okay.
That thing he's saying to you and you're saying yes, mommy is the same way he's going to come the day there's problem to come and talk to you and you will not say yes, mommy. Then you are finished.
So
you understand?
Let me say this.
And they will turn your wife against you. So it is always good from day one, the day you marry their daughter, to let them know that you are done with them.
Simple. And also,
when you say you're done, doesn't mean you're
you
cutting
are
them off.
done.
There's this saying
you are done with them.
Like you're cutting them off.
No,
I didn't
not
say
like
so.
that. Now.
That's what I'm saying.
Done with them means having them make your decisions.
There was a day
understand?
one of my family members said, he was telling my wife that you don't marry, now you be all of us wife. I cut the person down. Immediately. I said, now my wife be this, so you know join.
The two shall become one.
We are siblings. Now they end. You see this woman, if you send her a message and she cross leg, no say I tell her to no stand up. No even look her. I told the sibling, don't even look at her. If you ever send her a message and she cross leg, no say, they know me. They know me for us.
And there's one
No, I
more
wanted to
thing.
say something, sorry,
Okay,
please.
go ahead.
There's a video
one thing I wanted
that
to
went viral. I'm sure we all saw it, about a young man that wanted to propose. And to me, and the girl said she must kneel down. Now, when I went to the comment section, I saw the problem that we have been talking.
Is it not just to kneel down? That's
Some
what
say the girl escape. She just escaped.
She dodged the bullet.
She dodged bullet. And I used to tell, I have 2 teenagers, to God's glory, that are learning with me. I used to tell the young man this, that if you are when you start to date, excuse me, the girl asks you for anything, end that relationship.
And I hope it's for anything. Like,
yes. I'm not saying don't be kind, because niceness should not exist, in my own opinion. Jesus never commanded us to be nice. Kindness is fruit of the spirit. I say I'm not saying don't be kind, but let it come from your heart. When a woman start making demand and put pressure on you, that I want to know if you are. Yeah, they do it in the world. That I want to know if you can.
Which one is in the world? They do it everywhere. Which one is in the world?
That's what I mean, in the world. And then,
Is marriage inside you?
Escape. That's a red flag. Escape, because you are going to constantly be under pressure in marriage.
Deliver.
And that takes us to this.
These things are not, they're actually not straightforward. First of all, what he's saying is true. What is happening now is that, in fact, this weakness we're talking about is easily seen when it comes to this demand thing.
Yeah.
Most girls now believe that the man is supposed to take care of them, pay for all their problems and everything. And most boys believe now that what makes you a man is your ability to take care of them. But I keep asking people, what if you meet a rich girl? What if you meet a girl who does not need your money?
You can't impress her.
You understand? If you meet a girl who does not need your money, how do you now show that you are a man? You understand? Since all that makes you a man is your ability to provide, and girls are actually taking too much advantage of that. You understand?
And some women are successful now in businesses, in their working career.
A lot of women.
So how can you be
a lot of
man?
Women? Apart from the girls on the streets, most decent girls don't need your money. You understand? So how do you prove that you are a man
to a successful woman?
So you just get into the relationship and you're just a mumu looking. Your weakness will show. You understand? So that's why that mentoring, you understand? That mentoring starts from home. As a young boy is growing, he needs a man that he looks up to, and the best man to look up to is your father. And you as a father, you need to make yourself available. Don't think that all you owe your son is to pay his school fees and keep one car at home that he can drive when he turns 16 or 17. No. And then the rest is left to the mother. No. You're grooming a weakling. You're grooming a man that one woman will use tomorrow and use his head.
To mop floor.
You're setting up another divorce.
Bam.
You understand? That's why men cannot stay in marriage. Once they get in and the woman gives them 1 or 2 bad boosts, they are out. Once the girl gets in and they're not man enough, she's out. You understand? But if you have been nurtured properly by a male figure, a father figure, first of all, one of the things you will realize when you stay around your father is to know that marriage it has its own ups and downs too.
Yes.
There are issues. You understand? Then you also realize that even the issues are settled in the bedroom. You start learning some things that you will take into your own marriage. Growing up as a child, I never saw my parents exchange words. I never saw them fight, but I knew they quarreled. Because there will be times that you hear some noise here and there, or you walk in and you see them frowning at each other. You know that something must have happened, but they did not bring it out. They did not bring it to you.
Right.
You understand? So you learn that. So that by the time you go into your own marriage, you're able to take those things in. But when you don't have a father figure, in fact, most times, most of these men we're talking about, even the mother that they have, you understand? They see the kind of relationship their mother will even have with other men.
Yeah.
You understand? So they grow up and they learn nothing. When they get into any relationship, they will mess it up.
Resentment and all
for me, when we now became teenagers, because we never saw our father and my mother, I was blessed with good parents that loved each other. So it was when we became teenagers, when they knew that we had sense, That's when my dad was like, "Emotion now, better come. See this way your mama they do." They would not start reporting. He good.
Right.
Now so me I'll deal. My mama will come say, but your papa say no get money. They turn it to discussion, but because we are mature,
Right.
outside that, well, I never even know whether
There's this
whether
trend that
parents dey quarrel.
people have observed that, especially the villages and churches and so on, that there are more widows than widowers. That means the men are dying younger, dying quicker, earlier than
I've
their
heard
That one. First of all, like you remember what I said at the beginning, the female is stronger than the male. So even the female body is stronger than the male body. How many women do you say have high BP? Hardly. Apart from men, the society putting so much pressure on men overworking themselves. Like I told you, God actually made the woman to help the man. The woman is actually supposed to work double what the man works. But our society has turned it around, and it's the plan of the devil. You understand? So all the pressure is on the man. Every pressure. First of all, the day you marry. That's why now young boys now are even learning not to marry into poor homes. Because now I'm an Igbo person. Let me even use Igbo land. You go now and go and marry Igbo girl. If she has 7 siblings, you start training all of them in the university.
That's true.
By default. You've not had your own children. Oh. You've not had your own children. In fact, let me tell you what's off. Before people do your traditional marriage, you bring money to renovate their house.
And it's not part of the list.
You'll be the one to buy a share. Last week, one boy called me last week. You understand? He called me through. The sister is actually my friend. I don't know if they'll be listening to this podcast. And he called me that he's getting married. You understand? That he wants to know that do I have the list that I used to marry? I said, you didn't marry. Do you know when I married? He said, no, that he wants that. They gave him 2 lists. I said, why would they give you 2 lists? The list is supposed to be 1 now. He said, no, they gave him 2 lists. On the list, 100 tubers of yam. I said, it's not 100, it's 40, I know. You understand? He mentioned some things. You know? I said, no, where is the girl from? Yoruba land. I said, no, you probably don't give this kind of list. With money, plenty things on the list. The list looks like an Igbo list. I said, it's because they know you are Igbo. That this is not their list. Go and argue the list. You understand? He said, that he's even trying to gather money for the engagement. I said, no, Yoruba people, they are the ones that will cook. You understand? If you're going from here to their place to go and marry, they are the ones that will cook. If they are asking you to raise money for the food, they want to use your head. You understand? Because they know you are Igbo. So there's so much pressure.
So much.
On a young man who is trying to marry. You understand? I have seen people
So much.
who were asked to bring money for house renovation because they wanted to come and marry.
One even
if,
told his son.
If that kind of pressure is put on the man, you understand, and you go into that marriage, we cannot outlive the woman now. So you do phase 1, training the sibling of your wife. Then phase 2, you train your own children. There's phase 3, if you're not careful, your grandchildren. You understand? So how do you want the man to live? But that doesn't mean that naturally the woman's body is stronger than the male body. God created it that way because of childbirth and so many things that the woman is supposed to go through in life. So that child, forget that rib.
The man don't weak already.
Forget that the rib they made the intestine. You understand? That the rib they made the heart. You understand? That taking the man's rib is symbolic, or just for it to be that a part of the man. I'm an artist. When we're in school, when we do sculpture, sometimes when you have an old piece that you love, you want to make something new, you break that old piece to make sure that the clay from that old piece goes into the new one, just for it to have a part of it. You understand? But the female body, even science has proven that the female body is stronger than the male body. You don't chop female goats before.
They had.
Go cook female goat, make you understand what they talk. Even a cow, any animal. Because of the 9 months that the woman is supposed to carry pregnancy, that her body has to be very tough. And that toughened body that she's been given gives her longevity. You understand?
Yes, sir.
But the truth is, there's still that factor of the man being overworked, because for Igbo land, widows plenty for Igbo land pass for any other place. Now for Igbo land, widows plenty pass.
Wow.
You understand? And hard work, while and they take their husband. So back to what we're saying about men being weak. We have established that, first of all, this weakness is created by so many children growing up without father figure. So we, as we're saying this, we also need to be looking at what is the way forward. Women, even single mothers, need to allow their male children opportunity to mix with their fathers.
Yeah.
You understand? No matter how much you hate the man, no matter what, there's something
You need to.
the man needs to transfer to his son.
Need to.
So you need to find a way to make every male child, you understand, have a father figure that they can interact with, that they can speak with, that they can talk to. It is not about the man teaching the child anything. Even advice, even physically sitting around a father figure, something is transferred to you. You understand? So if you were able to love the man enough or like him enough to allow him lie on top of you to impregnate you, you should picture that moment and allow the male child opportunity to stay around their figure. We're having so many men groomed. We're having so many boys trained without their father. And that's why we're seeing what we're seeing.
Yes.
Whether crime, whatever it is, you understand, drug abuse, everything, check it. A research was done at some time and they found out that I can't remember the percentage of people in prison were in prison because they had no father.
Right. Yeah,
you understand? It is hard for you to find a boy with a proper father figure go wrong. Hard.
That's true.
It's not as if it doesn't happen, but it's hard. It is easier. Why is it that our sons are sent abroad to go and study and they go and start doing drug and crime? Because there's no father figure there. Even the ones who go with their mother. Hardly will you hear of a family that relocated from here with both mother and father and the boys will go there and start misbehaving. Hardly. All this Saka, all these Donny Madek and the rest of the place, but they have their fathers in the house with them. They have their fathers in the house with them. The ones that were sent here without their father, only their mother, go and check their record. You understand? So that weakness we're seeing, apart from first factor is that no father figure at home. The second one is the pressure the society is putting on the male figure. You understand? So men are afraid. Men are afraid to speak their mind. When Peter Doce came out and spoke about not kneeling down to propose, women started attacking him from left and right. But fortunately, he's Peter Doce. There's nothing they can do to him. If he was a younger person or a smaller person that said that, he would have finished his career. When Basketball cracked one joke about rape, women came after him. He had to apologize publicly.
Right.
But he's a comedian. But he will crack joke about men and all that and nothing will happen.
Yeah.
So the women have gathered themselves and they have put themselves where nobody can touch them anymore. And if you allow any man or any young boy for them to train, that they are going to wreck that person.
Wow.
Divorce rate is very high. Why? It is because of this. Men don't have that ability. If a man is tough, if a man is strong, you either see him and decide not to marry him. If you marry him, you have to stay under his control.
Yes.
And he will give you peace. But what happens now is that men want to come and a girl sees a boy now, oh, he has nice beds. I love his beds. Oh, he's fine. He's a hunk. And you get into the house with him and you find out that he's an idiot. You understand? Then you start complaining. What are you complaining for?
My wife will say, waiting people they marry.
You understand?
Yo, ladies, I see, I don't know, I see a part two though, but I think we need to call it a wrap here because we haven't fully explored other ways that can become a solution to this weakness. Because like you said, we see the weakness, trickle down into society and we see the effect. And one thing we have established here is that absence of the father figure in the mix. So it's something we need to look at possible ways. What happens to the guy who doesn't have a father figure? Maybe father is late or something, or
let the mother look for one uncle or one brother's brother,
not their grandfather,
not grandfathers. For every young boy growing up, he needs a male figure he needs.
Does that figure have to be, blood related?
If it doesn't have to, but if it is, it's better.
Yeah, if it is, it's better.
If it is, it's better because it's always better for somebody who knows your history, who knows your background, who has similarities with you too. It makes it easier. But where you cannot find somebody in the family, you can get some people, their pastor is actually their mentor.
Yeah.
Some people, their lecturer is their mentor. But for every young boy growing up, for every young male child, you need somebody to look up to. There's so much to learn. It's not just about passing exams, eating the right food, having the right this and that. No, mentally, there's so much structure and a lot that has to be passed down that makes you what you be, so that tomorrow you will not become a problem to another girl that has been properly trained by her own parents or to the society. We need to do something. Marriages now don't outlast weddings. And we've seen marriages now that they started fighting at the wedding.
Right. The wedding.
True.
I once saw a couple at the toll gates in their wedding gown and suit fighting, exchanging blows. The day they got married in front of an ATM. Has that marriage not ended?
Crazy, man.
That marriage ended. When I saw a movie where Al Pacino said that his wedding lasted longer than his marriage, I thought it was a fine line. But it's true, it's happening. It's happening. People, while getting married, are full of regrets. The girl is standing at the altar and she's regretting marrying that guy already.
And they put so much
because the guy must have made one very foolish move right there. And then from that day, she starts looking for a reason to divorce the guy, and she starts thinking of her old boyfriend.
Oh,
wow. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what an episode it's been. We would see you on the next one. Thank you for coming through. Peace and love. Thank you, man, for coming through. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
We're still looking for that first female guest that will come and, break this jinx, looking like a men's hangout. But we hope we'll find pretty much. So if you're out there and you feel that you have something to say, you've got something to say, and you like to be on Talk Through Podcast, and you are a female,
bring a divorcee now. Let's jump on divorce.
All right.
If you're out there and you have chased your husband the way your husband chased you, and you want to discuss that, we're open.
We're very open. Very open. So see you in the next one.
All right.
It's a wrap.